and they are off. I'm very bad at explaining planes, but I'm gonna try and go ahead anyway. There's not a lot to talk about in planes, just what you want to do is don't stop, never stop, don't take damage, and just try to pick up as much gold as possible while finishing the level.
Yeah,
And just hold right.
Planes is pretty much an introduction to how to do basic movement mechanics and basic shovel mechanics, because that's all you really have at this point. So most of these runners will be using techniques such as shovel cancel, which is using a jump input and a shovel input, and also doing things like leap of faith, which is all about managing your momentum to get across platforms. Now, the next kind of trick that comes up in this run is bubble wrap, which involves a screen wrap using bubbles from a dragon enemy. Would you give a slight explanation to how that kind of works, Moggy?
Okay, so the bubble wrap glitch has been known for a long time, but it has not been discovered how to do it properly, consistently without the propeller dagger, and it was discovered in December, so that's not a very long time ago. What you basically do is you get enough height and you touch the loading screen above while you are exiting the screen, which makes the game think that, okay, so you touch the loading screen and then it kind of glitches out and teleports you to the screen above. And WesBeardtooth is the one to do it, and he got it. MooMooAkai actually did not go for it. He's probably thinking that he's not confident enough and consistent enough in getting it. It looks pretty easy. It is pretty easy in one way, but if you mess up one jump or anything very small, then it gets then it fails, and then it's just better. Optimally, it saves about 3.5 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds over just walking around the whole thing.
Not to mean to cut you off, but both runners got the quick kill on Black Knight, which involves a quick stun lock while landing with shovel attacks. So that's very impressive. So we have both runners entering Pridemore Keep, where the first trick of Pridemore Keep is Gentle Hop, involving a attack input on screen transition to get a little bit of extra height to completely skip a cycle. It also introduces one of the first RNG enemies into the game, the rats. WesBeardtooth did not get the gentle hop, unfortunately, while Moo did. As you can see, the big difference in movement there. Something you'll see very common with these runners is to go fast, what you're going to need to do is take certain damage boosts, like the Griffin coming out. The other thing that I did not note was MooMooAkai is using a code to make his knight look purple the entire time. This will not change when he gets Conjurer's Coat, however, he will still take the additional damage and have the additional magic from Conjurer's Coat. The next room of note is probably the most dangerous room of Pridemore Keep, which both of these runners are coming up to, which is the bat room, the lava pot room. It's all about trying to keep on the cycle as much as possible so you can get through as cleanly and as quickly as possible. If you get slightly off cycle, you actually may have a chance of dying in that room.
There is a faster strat which is called Quicker Books, but it is very precise and requires to do a / damage boost. You have to get through the room and on a faster cycle to be able to do it, and it saves 0.4 seconds exactly.
But it is very dangerous.
Yeah, and it's not recommended unless you need those 0.4 seconds. Or if you are very consistent.
Like anything else. Anything else in this game, if you go over something and you miss it, you have a high chance of dying. We got both runners entering the King Knight fight. Runners using the ceiling to get additional pogo attacks in.
WesBeardtooth got the... he was using the older quick kill for King Knight, and he got it actually perfectly. And that requires for him to get 4 hits left on King Knight when the last pogo charge from King Knight is done. So he has 4 hits left, and he got it. I am not sure what Moo was going for. I think Moo is going for the quickest kill, which leaves King Knight on 2 hits left at the end of the fight. But he did not get it. Yeah, I think he took damage. I'm not sure, I didn't see. And now we have both runners going into village directly after Primordial Keep, because now we have the money to buy the Chaos Sphere. They will both be using it in most of the same places and in most of the same way, depending on the strats that they have practiced and learned. Chaos Sphere costs 6 magic, and it can bounce and hit an enemy multiple times, and it never bounces back unless it bounces off a ceiling, a block, a wall, or something else like that. But if it goes through enemies, it can just keep on going. It absolutely demolishes some of the bosses, like Treasure Knight, Mole Knight, and Plague Knight.
And Polar Knight.
Yes, Polar Knight as well.
Now, what we got to see at the very beginning there was the another RNG enemy, Frog. When they want to jump and how far they want to jump is completely random. And as you can see, Moo had to take a slightly slower cycle just because the Frog wanted to jump into his direct path.
The screen earlier they were in, there was a frog skip. WesBeardtooth decided not to go for the frog skip, so he's losing 4 seconds over MooMooAkai. MooMooAkai did actually go for the orb strat, which saves 1.3 seconds exactly over the old damage boost frog skip.
So the runners need to collect a decent amount of gold during this run to buy everything that they need to hit the game. Most runners will break a couple checkpoints, and it's very common for runners to break certain checkpoints in Lit Chart. Now, which checkpoints do they typically like to break?
The next one that WesBeard is coming up on, he's breaking this one. And optimally, if you want to do the best checkpoint grabbing, checkpoint breaking, the next checkpoint they are gonna break as well, but I don't think they are going to break it because it is a very risky checkpoint to break. It gives the most gold. WesBeard did not break it, and I don't think Moo is gonna break it as well. They only take the checkpoint out just in case they die in this dark room. It's not a very difficult room, but it can happen that you just miss to judge a jump, or you take damage and you fall down into the pit, because this whole room is one big pit. MooMooAkai will probably break. Yeah, he's breaking the last checkpoint, while WesBeard is not. So he's probably breaking another checkpoint in either Explodatorium or Iron Whale later on.
Excellent. So we have both runners running into Spectre Knight. It looks like both of them got decent RNG, so we're having a very close race so far. Runners seem to be separated by less than 10 seconds. Gesundheit, Papa Fiesel.
Do you want to explain the Dream 1, Speedfrog?
Dream 1 is fairly simple. So in each of these dream sequences that occurs after 3 stages, there's 3 of them. One after the first 3, the next one after the second 3, and the last one after the third 3. You have this dream sequence where a bunch of enemies start to try and attack you, and Shield Knight is falling down. The goal in speedrunning this is to end this dream sequence as fast as possible, and the way you can do that is by killing yourself. So you see the players jumping into the skeletons, which do a full heart of damage when they have their swords up. And that way they're able to die as quickly as possible, and that causes Shield Knight to start falling immediately.
Most of these runners will try and grab some gold during the time that they're still having invincibility frames, because the enemies drop double gold in the dream phase.
And if done optimally, you can collect that gold without losing any time, so any time that you can get free money is the best, because it saves from having to break further checkpoints later.
So both runners are approaching the infamous Munchakoopa's Beetle 1 skip. WesBeardtooth has a great setup and gets it.
It looks like MooMooAkai was... I don't know what happened now. It looks like he got the pogo. Yeah, he probably made it.
I definitely saw the fish getting damaged, so...
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, it looks like just Moo suffering from ISP issues, as is wont to happen.
He's known to have quite a few of these problems, so he'll be back momentarily.
The other thing is, you'll see Shovel Knight going invisible during the stream sometimes. That's just a inconsistency with the way that it's streamed. The game plays at 60 FPS, and if you're streaming at 30 FPS, when Shovel Knight is taking damage, he blinks every other frame, so he turns invisible to the stream, but he's actually still there.
So WesBeardtooth just picked up the Dust Knuckles, which is one of the best items, definitely. You can punch through blocks, enemies, and anything that moves around on the levels, like the slime balls that he used to skip some of the gaps and not bounce several times on the big green flubber-like floor. It is a very good item to just pass through enemies and skip them. And some of the skips, we are looking for Beetle 2 skip here. I don't know, WesBeardtooth is not going for it, but MooMooAkai might. He is, actually. But he failed this... Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Okay, that was a very good save. He turned around. I'm not sure if it was intentional that he turned around, but he got damage boosted to the right, and he managed to get 2 pogos up the bird and save the gap. And that is... that doesn't happen very often. That has happened to me as well, that I managed to save it that way.
Usually when that happens, it's because you realize that you screwed up, and your first instinct is to go back and land on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
But you end up falling into the bird, taking damage from it, and it damage boosts you towards the right, and then you have enough time to make it to the platform. Cool game. We see Wes getting blocked by Reese here. Reese landing on Explodatorium, so he's not able to travel there next.
He could have gotten to Outpost and tried to make Reese move again, but that can be risky because he might get blocked in, so he can't even move anywhere from Outpost. So he decides to just go to Iron Whale, and I think he's gonna go to... I'm not sure if he does the new route, but if he does, then after Iron Whale, he will go to Outpost and buy the Shard Slash and Conjurer's Coats.
I don't see him doing
Moomoo-
that, because Explodatorium with Conjurer's Coat, unless you're really practiced at it, which a few of our runners are, it is very difficult and very scary.
Yes.
Most likely he will be taking the few seconds time loss to just go to Explodatorium first.
Yeah. While MooMooAkai did not get blocked by Reese, he, if everything goes right and he has money left, he has the money to go to Outpost. He needs 8,000 gold after defeating Plague. So he's gonna go to Outpost after that.
Bats being on the global cycle in this stage, which start as soon as you enter the stage. But it looks like he made through Explodatorium optimally, so he's entering the mini-boss now, while Wes is working on 420 fish. 420 fish because he likes to stay high all the time.
Oh, Moomoo had a little bit of a misjump there.
Final Alchemist and Slime Knight decided to troll.
Apart from that death that MooMooAkai took, from what I've seen, that was pretty much a perfect Explodatorium so far.
Yeah.
He got the ladder skip. The ladder skip using the Chomping to pogo off. It looks very easy, but is one of the hardest tricks to understand completely and be consistent with it, because it's pure manipulation of the Chompy to lure him over and make him go up, so you can get the height of the pogo and then grab the ladder off screen. The anchor skips in this room. Yeah, he decides not to go for anchor skips, and that is perfectly acceptable, because if you die in that anchor screen, you will lose a lot of time, most likely plus 30 seconds.
We have both runners entering their respective bosses. Wes entering Treasure, and Moomoo entering Play.
We saw Moomoo take a desperate grab for as much gold as he can get, because he was not actually able to collect the money back from when he died. So he is right now a little over 500 gold short, so he will not be able to go to the outpost before Iron Whale. He's going to lose a little bit of time there.
And they are actually still synced up. This is a close race because they both finished the second level at the same time. And they still have not. Both of the runners have still not done the outpost visits. So depending on what happens in this level, for MooMoo's Iron Whale and WesBeardt's Explodatorium, they will pretty much be synced up after Dream 2 going into Flying Machine.
Which would be impressive, because that would mean that Breeze RNG wouldn't have altered this run very much. Since we haven't talked about it, Breeze is one of the mini bosses that patrols around the map. And the reason you don't want to fight Breeze is because if you fight Breeze, other mini bosses spawn and they tend to troll you and get in your way and make everything go slower. So it's better off, if you have to go to some place that, you know, Breeze is blocking, it's better off to enter a place and then exit out to make Breeze move from that spot. Now he can just troll you and go back to the same spot, but MooMooAkai gets tentacle skip and it looks beautiful, using the Chaos Orb to bounce down and get all the tentacles on his way down to speed up that room significantly.
WesBeardtooth is going into Alchemist boss with basically no magic, so he might have a very slow kill. which could mess up his fire cycles. And I'm not sure if he does ladder skip yet. So the fire cycles might be a problem for him.
It's an important note is that mini boss in Exploratorium, the Alchemist, actually does drop the full turkey. So if you're low on health, it's very much recommended to wait and grab it if you don't feel confident in the next couple of rooms.
He had a decent fire cycle, but he managed to get the ladder skip, so that's very nice.
Both runners also got Dirt Clod Skip, which involves digging out the dirt clod in the wall and then pogoing off of it to get to the ladder much faster.
MooMooAkai goes with the safety checkpoint in the anchor skip room, and he is going for anchor skips and he got it. So if he would have died, he wouldn't have lost as much time. So that's a good decision for a race. MooMooAkai's plague fight, he got a very bad pattern before, and let's see how WesBeardtooth's pattern will be. He did get a good pattern, but he messed up one of the jumps. So he didn't get stuck beneath the vats, so he could continue orbing and hitting Plague Knight, but still a good finish.
Once again, these runners are within pretty much 10 seconds of each other, both going for the armory visit now.
Moo might have to collect some more gold from the dream, though. I believe at this point in the old route, when you got Conjurer's Coat after the second dream, then you would need around 11,500, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I wonder if they... Actually, never mind. They don't have Conjurer's Coat, so they can't go for the Speed Frog catch, the Dream 2 strats.
Doesn't look like MooMooAkai is noticing that he's lower on gold.
Yeah, he's not noticing.
Yeah.
No. He forgot.
He also forgot that
He's gonna go for it.
Doesn't have Conjurer's Coat. So most likely we'll see him breaking a checkpoint, collecting a few extra pieces of gold in the Flying Machine, assuming he realizes he's short on gold.
Another option is to take the gold from the mini boss as well, or grab the music sheets, but the music sheets are quite slow.
You'd only really expect the people to take the music sheets if they're planning on going back to the village for extra health upgrades, which neither of these players will be doing.
So the only reason now that MooMooAkai just got slightly behind is because he forgot that he didn't have Conjurer's Coat for Dream 2, which slowed down the Dream 2 sequence by at least 4 seconds.
The reason we're so hyping up these gold points is you need exactly 4,000 gold to buy the Propeller Dagger, which is the best speed tech item in the game. It saves about a half a second every time you use it properly.
0.4.
Okay, we see Moo breaking that checkpoint. That should almost give him enough gold.
Yeah, the best
He'll
choice for
probably
him
get
right now
the-
is to get the 200 pink gem in the block right before
Yeah.
both, and then grab the gold, which is 250 gold exactly in the Propeller Dagger room, and then he has enough. And he did get it, so that's good.
Did he actually get it? He hit the block, but I don't think he actually got it.
No, yeah, Well, oh,
'Cause he was at 3600 before, so he's gonna be 6 gold short.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
6.
Boy, he realizes
Actually, wait,
this.
20. He needs 26.
He's
Yeah,
taking
he
the high
gets
gold.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good adaptation.
And for the rest of the level, they don't need to worry about gold if they die. Because the amount of gold that you get from defeating Propeller Knight is enough to be able to afford to buy the gear in the Clockwork Tower in the next stage.
This is where you spam no Jawas for triple Jawas.
They both make it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
So where would you guys rank Jawa Room in like most deadly rooms in the game? Top 5? Top 10?
That depends on
For any
the
percent.
runner, really. If you're really experienced with it, well, I don't know. If you're really experienced with it, you're still gonna die every once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's probably still just number 1. Right up there with Ladder Skip Room and Beetle 2 Skip in Lost City.
For me, I would say top 10.
Oh, and this room, the first wind tunnel room. If you go for the fast strat, slightly precise. If you screw it up, you will die.
So we have both runners approaching Propeller Knight. Trying to get as many hits in before he goes up. And then typically both runners, I believe, finish off with Propeller Daggers. WesBeardtooth just misses quick kill.
You got a very clean backup, so that's good. MooMooAkai did not get the manipulation to make Propeller Knight to fly left. Oh, okay. He got a faster backup than WesBeard, so he's gaining some time. I'd say about 3-4 seconds.
I rank Propeller Knight as one of those fights like Black Knight 3 is. If you miss that quick kill, the fight can become very dangerous very quickly.
If you get to the second phase of Propeller Knight, it's almost faster to just kill yourself because you're not gonna, unless you're at a good amount of life, you're not gonna beat him most of the time. Just because the holes in the ground make it much more difficult.
So both of these runners are entering Clockwork Tower, which is home of Tinker Knight, and really showing off why the Propeller Dagger is such a great speed tech item. And also the importance of why the Conjurer's Code is in the run. To spam more Propeller Dagger.
MooMooAkai chooses to go for the safety checkpoint, which is good. It only wastes a second. If you die in this gear room, which can pretty easily happen, you have to do the whole level over again.
We have seen it happen a handful of times throughout this tournament.
Yeah, last time it happened was actually the last race yesterday.
Yes.
Oh my god, WesBeard got a random sign dagger spawned right in front of him and he got damaged, but he was quick enough on the dagger over the gap, so he didn't fall down into the pit and die.
Runners are showing off the usefulness of the gear, specifically to get over this fight turn, and to engineer the demise of a certain boss coming up.
They are really... This is a really close race, still.
Same screen. Both of them are entering
like
the
this.
auto-scroller now. Auto-scrollers and Shovel Knight, you just can't sleep on. You sleep on an auto-scroller in this game, it's gonna kill you.
Except for the one in Propeller Knight stage where you can just sit behind that block.
Okay, that is a good point to actually take a drink, but like every other auto-scroller. That particular grinder segment has killed me many times because I second guess my jump and end up just falling down in the pit. Entering the Tinker Knight using the gear to get a one-shot kill. And Speedfrog, would you explain kind of the strategy for the Dust Knuckle usage on Tinker 2?
So the old strategy for the second phase of Tinker Knight was to basically fight him as intended, where you go up above him and pogo him 20 times until he dies. But then eventually we realized that you can use the Dust Knuckles, which do damage much faster. You don't have to sit there floating in the air for a while. And it's slightly precise because you have to knuckle through this tiny little hitbox of Tinker Knight's head. But if done properly, you can skip one of the phases by killing him fast enough. Saves quite a good amount of time.
As you can see right there with Moo taking the Dust Knuckle strat and Wes using just the gear and pogo strat. But both runners get through it and get on to the stranded ship.
Stranded ship is almost on par with the difficulty of Exploratorium, because there's health management and magic management, and it's very optimized. If you take one extra hit that you did not intend to, you have to heal at the end, and you might die before then. We're using daggers in almost every single screen, and there are about 5 to 7 enemies that we kill along the way of this of the level that can drop a big magic, which gives you 30 magic instead of the small magic drop that gives you 5. And getting one of these big magic drops, WesBeardtooth actually got one, but he's not doing the new strat to kill that last dragon, so he just lost out on a big magic.
Sad.
That's very sad, yes. Like seeing a big magic drop and you can't get it and you just left the screen is heartbreaking. Because that is free 25 magic that you get, and there are so many daggers that you can use. You can save about up to 3 seconds just from one big magic drop.
This is basically the only stage in the game where you don't have enough magic compared to how much you can use. You can use a ton of magic in this stage just because there are a lot of open rooms, horizontal rooms that you can dagger through, but there isn't enough magic for you to collect immediately throughout the beginning half of the stage. So generally you'll see that the runners will have to walk through certain sections because they won't have enough magic.
MooMooAkai is going for the fastest propeller dagger strats, and this is very risky, and he's probably gonna die. Oh my god,
wow, that was so
that
close.
was incredibly close.
That kind of reminds me of
thought
a
he was
race
done.
yesterday with a commentator in here who did about the same thing.
Yes, that was me. And here we have the Chaos Orbs on Polar Knight, sorry.
Wes using the gear strat to get through that room, but Moo getting a great kill.
believe he took 2 hits of damage. Taking damage on this fight is actually not as punishing as on other fights. Because...
Assuming you collect the health.
Mm-hmm. Both runners completing Stranded Ship and World Free, and they're heading into Dream Free, which is the easiest dream to die in. You just have to stand in one spot and get hit by the spears from the Vikings. The first damage you want to take is body contact damage from the left Viking, and then get hit by what is it? 2 more spears.
So both of these runners are now entering Tower 1, which really displays your execution on using multiple relics in the same room to great efficiency. Really is kind of the cream of showing off how well and comfortable you are at swapping your relics mid-room.
Tower 1 is very execution based.
There's
There are a lot
basically
of
no
tricks to it.
RNG. No RNG here. And it's definitely my favorite level.
Yes, me too. You go so fast.
And my least.
Go faster.
No, relic swapping. Moo with the big magic.
It doesn't help him anything in the beginning, because you will always be on max magic anyway after picking up the big magic in the crusher. So getting a big magic drop before then doesn't do anything. The only place where a big magic drop is useful is the screen that MooMooAkai was just in with the double chompies. WesBeardtooth is coming up on that soon, and is one of the chompies in the next screen that he's entering. If the last chompy drops a big magic, that is actually useful. And the next screen after that, there is a samurai that can also drop a big magic. Those are the 2 only drops that is actually useful.
And even then, it's very minimal as well, because you use just about all of your magic. It
You
maybe
gain
gives you an
maybe
extra
2
dagger or
daggers
2.
extra. That's it.
And it gives you some safety buffer on Black Knight 3. If you miss the stun lock, then you can use daggers to as a backup. Sometimes you can get him to skip the what is it, the phase
Orb
where he
phase.
shoots. Yeah, orb phase.
As we see, it's right there.
Exactly. The... Oh, that was a
Nice
really good.
backup. Nice
Very smooth.
save.
Wow.
That was a hype save there. Holy crap.
Transitions directly into the daggers once he realizes he misses the stun lock, and then once he runs out of magic, flawlessly goes back into shoveling him into the corner.
So if Black Knight 3 ever takes off, you are going to lose just a ton of time.
Do see that from Wes here, as he was not able to prevent Black Knight from going into the orb phase, which is a really annoying phase because he's invincible during that time, so you can't actually do any damage. And this isn't looking very good. I was able to get some hits in there, so it looks like he'll be able to clean him up here.
Hey, you got lucky with where Black Knight wanted to spawn the meteors.
Yeah, Black Knight can be too high sometimes there, and you can't actually hit him. Optimally, you can get on top of him and start pogoing him there. That way you don't have to worry about that.
So both runners entering Tower 2, which is actually the shortest stage in the game if you do not include the boss rush. Oh god,
no.
Jawa.
No, that wasn't the Java. He
Just fell off the edge.
Yeah, he used the dagger too late. He misjudged the dagger.
This is definitely one of the more dangerous rooms, especially in this stage. It's the one you can't sleep on.
He is still ahead and going into auto-scroller. But WesBeardtooth can bring this back.
Okay, so that was Plague Knight.
Final boss.
If any one of these runners die in boss rush, then the lead can change directly. Especially if they die late in boss rush, which can lose up to at least 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes.
That Jawa sure tried to kill WesBeardtooth there. Wes not going for the swag sheet.
There's not much to talk about during these auto-scrollers. I'm gonna try to explain quick before they enter boss rush. Boss rush has some RNG in it in terms of boss order. Every food plate, you get a food plate after every boss, and you get a chicken in every food plate, and every other food plate you get a big magic. Polar is always in the first 3 bosses. The most optimal boss order you can get, it's not a perfect boss order that you can get, but you want to have Tinker last, so you don't have to dagger back to the center of the screen using 4 to 8 extra magic.
And you can throw out the gear at the very end of the previous fight before Tinker, and save a tiny bit of time, but still something.
MooMooAkai got Treasure as second boss, and he got the worst RNG where Treasure Knight goes up into the ceiling.
This could be bad if Moo gets Plague next. Or Mole, because he's already low on magic from having just the magic consumers in a row.
Yeah, he's actually fine on magic. He has enough for the next fight. It doesn't matter which fight it's gonna be. He's not gonna get a magic drop from this fight, but the next one he will. So if he gets Propeller, that's good.
So we got Wes on his third fight, Polar. He got Mole first, followed by Plague, so...
MooMooAkai has to break that food plate before the next fight starts, otherwise he won't get the big magic. And he actually decides to go down and interrupt the fight and do it, because he probably knew that he needed to break it.
Us getting good RNG from Spectre.
Here we have Plague Knight for Moo.
Plenty of magic left, so he's able to use a good handful of orbs. Well, not plenty of magic anymore, but he won't need any for Propeller.
Nice. Very good job from Moo. Yeah, that was scary because if he took a hit, he would have died, and that would have been on the last boss in boss rush, and that would have been game over.
And because of where he landed at the end of the Plague fight, he wasn't able to be close enough to the center, so he wasn't standing on top of the food platter, which would have been helpful because he would have just collected it while damaging propeller.
West does not have any magic for Tinker, so he's gonna have to go for a late gear.
Oh, he got the magic from the platter.
He got stunned by King Knight and he hit him, but that's not a huge time loss. Okay. So the only way WesBeardtooth can regain time now is if MooMooAkai makes mistakes in the last 2 fights. MooMooAkai gets early dives, and he has taken a lot of damage. If he can dodge
realizes
everything,
he can't go for low percent kill.
Yeah. Ooh, misjudges the fire that Enchantress spawns to respawn the blocks.
And as a reminder, these runners are in the lower bracket, so this could potentially decide their tournament life.
WesBeardtooth is not going for the low percent stride. I don't think he knows it. He hasn't learned it. So he could have done a backup. But it is scary. And time for MooMooAkai at 40... What does it say? I can't see.
4802, I think.
Yeah, the bitrate just
with,
eats everything.
With an SRL time of 4807.
And WesBeardtooth is not far behind at all. It's about a minute. Not even that.
Probably be getting low 49, I think. Assuming everything goes okay.
Which his PB is 48-45, so he's very close to his PB right now.
Nice. 48-56.
Oh my god.
11 seconds from his PB. And within a minute of Moo.
And we already have MooMooAkai in here. Hello.
Hi.
How do you feel?
My hands won't stop shaking. I'm still sick.
I want to ask you, what happened in Tower 2? Did you misjudge the dagger in the Jabba room?
When I was practicing earlier today, I found a consistent way to set it up so that you pogo and get high enough, because I used to have problems where I wouldn't be high enough and I would pogo and just hit the wall. So I was not familiar yet with the fact that I shouldn't be like on the platform when I dagger. and maybe
Yeah.
just before it.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello, WesBeardtooth.
Hello.
That was very close to your PB.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Very close race. You were pretty much synced up until
Probably boss
I think,
rush.
No, up until Tower 1
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, I didn't get the
Clockwork Tower.
I did not get
You
the,
were both in the.
I didn't get the quick kill on Black Knight 3, so that cost me some pretty precious time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of seconds.
Yeah, you guys were tied at the end of Clockwork Tower.
Nice.
I mean, the big point was just how close you guys were in the dream sequences every single time.
Yeah, I know. Did
Both
did
had
Moomoo
a-
get reezed?
I did not.
No,
Oh,
you got
jeez.
reezed.
No.
But you both had problems in World 2, weren't able to get the early coat.
Yeah, that screwed me up. I was like, oh, I'll go for Dream 2.
I
Wait,
saw that.
Yeah.
It's the problem
We
with
mentioned
using the
that.
color codes. Is you don't realize when you have the code or not.
That's actually the first deathless run I've ever done, so...
Oh, that was deathless.
congratulations.
Nice.
Nice.
Just out of curiosity, was that the first deathless run of the tournament?
Right?
No.
No.
That was Smoggy's was too,
At the
wasn't
very least, it was Smoggy's second best run ever.
Yeah. My deathless run at 43:30.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But deathless runs are very, very rare in this tournament.
Yes.
Oh,
And
well.
in runs in general, it is very rare.
I've had one. Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, that was a good race. I enjoyed it. That was fun.
it? Good race, dude.
Just to give some props to Moomoo. Moomoo just started this tournament. I don't think he had an any percent PB. His any percent PB was like his low percent PB. And so he started this tournament at the 14th seed. And he has now climbed up all the way to what, like 11th on the leaderboard? Maybe higher than that? With any percent of like 46 something?
It's 46-37.
Yeah, there you go. So, Moomoo has improved drastically in this tournament. So, everyone give mad props to Moomoo for that, because that's really difficult to do.
But thank you.
So, unfortunately, this was a loser bracket race here. So that's the end of the road for Wes. And Moomoo will be going up against Tolu next.
Oh boy, my favorite green dude.
It's happening.
It's happening.
You're running the gauntlet, man.
I knew it was going to be that way either way. If I had managed to be engaged, I would have been going up against Muncha and then Smoggy or Speed Frog. So that was what winners was if I'd somehow gotten through my round.
I think we've got pretty much everyone who's either sub 50 or, a minute to like 3 minutes off sub 50 left in this tournament. So lots of quality runners. Final words, Wes.
Moomoo, good luck. I'm ultimately impressed with how much improvement you've done throughout this tournament, so good luck.
Thank you very much. I am definitely not even remotely close to giving up or putting the pace down. I'm going to be practicing every night until my next match, and then every night afterwards.
Any shout outs, you two?
Yeah, go for it.
Shout out to my mom. She's watching at home.
Shout outs to my mom, who did not make me shovel snow in the driveway until after this race is done. Shout outs to Speed Frog, Muncha, Smoggy, Xcloud, Toe, everyone who's been giving me strats and sitting in my stream telling me, hey, try this, do this, this is more consistent. Engage, help me out too.
Shout outs to Simple Flips.
Shout outs to Beer. And you guys for making it entertaining. I can't. I'm grateful to be able to commentate, even though I'm not that good in this game.
No, thank you guys for commentating. You guys are wonderful people, so thank you very much.
As for that,
No problem.
For the speed gaming schedule, there's actually quite a few races coming up today. We got a Mega Man X2 coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern, a Mega Man 3 at 7 p.m., Mega Man X2 at 8 and 9 p.m., and a Final Fantasy 1 at 10 p.m. for today. For Shovel Knight action, we've got actually another race coming up this week, tomorrow in fact, at 10 p.m. And that race is between S Diesel and Taiwan. That's going to be a great race.
It'll be a crazy race, that's definitely for sure.
But out of all the matches, this match between WesBeardtooth and Moo was one of them.
That is true. That is
and
true.
we thank you all for watching. After that, I think we're going to wrap this up with one final saying. For chivalry.
For chivalry!
For chivalry.
Thank you for watching, guys.